Welcome to the Direct Line, the official podcast for OADSP. We're excited to have you here with us today, and if you have comments, suggestions, or if you want to join us in studio as a guest, reach out to me at podcast@oadsp.org.
I'm David Rustio, and today I'm going to speak with Sean. Sean, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, thanks for having me. I am Sean. I'm the Community Relations Manager for Open Door Columbus.
Okay.
Personally, gosh, I don't know if I'm that interesting. I'm an artist by degree and by trade.
Okay.
I've been with this organization for a little over 10 years.
All right.
Recently, I moved 800 codependent feet from my parents, which I thought was normal. I guess it's not normal. Okay. But
So you're currently 800 feet, or you were?
No, I'm in it. I'm currently 800 feet from my parents. It's like the same alley that I grew up riding a bike on. But the ties that bind an Italian mother and a firstborn son, it's like, oh, this must be normal. It's not normal. My partner would say it's not normal too, but I'm fine.
Okay.
it's all good.
So any stories about living that close, or you don't have to tell us?
We set some loose boundaries in preparation. I would say they were well followed initially. My partner works from home, so there have been a few moments where he's in the middle of a meeting. He also works within this industry, and he's looked out the front window, and there's my dad reseeding the front lawn because it's apparently not up to snuff, or at least his snuff. It's not up to his standards.
But he's not bringing a home cooked meal from mom, though.
No, that's offered pretty frequently, but we're trying to resist the Italian cooking.
Okay. Yeah. No, I would never do that.
It's a choice. I'm going to say it's a good choice.
So, tell us about the organization and what you do there.
So I am currently a community relations manager, formerly the director of Open Door Art Studio and Gallery. So our organization, Open Door Columbus, began in the early 80s. My mother was one of the initial employees of this organization at our intermediate care facility. She's a social worker with her LISW. Okay. So after kind of completing my Bachelor of Fine Arts, it seemed like a very kind of natural combination of two facets of my life.
Sure.
This sort of raised by social worker, but degreed as fine artist.
So it works.
It works, yeah, for sure. You're finding creative solutions to working with people. It's interesting. So.
Well, tell us a little more about what you do here, though, so that we can kind of get a picture into it.
So currently, I'm fulfilling this role, kind of bridging partnerships between our organization and the community at large. So whether that's organizational partners, independent partners, business partners, or volunteers, it's really kind of creating that nice partnership that exists with a non-for-profit and those that are looking to support a non-for-profit.
Right. So you kind of talked about what brought you in. Why this organization, though?
So, well, for me, I got my degree. I worked in visual merchandising for a little while, and I really, really missed that kind of collaborative environment that being a student of the arts facilitates. I knew of this organization because of familial ties.
Sure.
And I also knew about the Art Studio and Gallery through familial ties, but also just through the recognition it was receiving within Franklin County and really beyond. So it seemed like a natural fit. When they had a position open, I applied, and it sort of gave me that artistic drive that I was missing out on. I've always been kind of a salesperson and a talker. I'm good at selling a brand. And in the field of the arts, that brand sort of becomes you. Like, what are you selling? Well, I'm selling my artwork, but I'm also selling me. Like, here, like, come listen to me, come talk to me. Like, let me explain to you why you want my artwork.
Right.
And I sort of missed selling someone else's artwork, selling someone else as a brand, and being around creativity all day long. Like, visual merchandising is great. It's cool. You can be creative, but within the confines of whatever company you're working for. So the idea of working with, at that time, probably around 65 artists who were all working with different mediums, and they were expressing themselves in different capacities, and no day looking the same. And being one of the creative drives that assists them throughout their creative process, that was super appealing to me.
Yeah. I actually own some artwork from Open Doors, from the studio.
I do too.
And I was at a meeting at the opera office one day, and we had a lunch break, and I walked down. Yeah. And first picture I saw on the wall, I bought. It grabbed me as I walked in, and I had to have it. And I got to see, what goes on there. Can you talk about the workings of that facility?
Yeah, I would call it a traditional art studio. Okay. So it's very individual centric. So every single artist is really structuring their day. They're working with the materials and mediums that they want to work with. They're creating artwork about subject matters that are important to them. Okay. The staff there are sort of there to facilitate the creative process, but they're not really there to really strong arm any direction.
Sure.
A huge capacity of the space is also its sort of introduction into the community at large, especially the community of the arts at large. We're super lucky in Franklin County, in Columbus, to be really, really immersed in the arts here. There are gallery spaces, there are museums, there are independent artists working out of their homes. So the studio really serves as a connector for the artists they represent and the artistic community that surrounds us. There are exhibition opportunities, so it's on the books known as a vocational habilitation program.
Sure.
It's an opportunity for working artists to make money based on commission. I don't know. I always say, the state questions what that means. I'm not sure either. I'll let you know what a working artist means when I've identified it myself.
Yeah. Most working artists don't make much money.
No, we're starving for a reason. So you gotta,
Well, the folks we work with don't starve. Now we have to be.
I know. I'm referencing the starving artist motif. The real starving artist.
So. Can you share a story about one of the artists and how they impacted you?
Yeah, so we had one artist, I would say. I was closest to her. She was pretty far into late onset dementia. And at the time, we sort of had a rotation system of the employees, the staff artists, kind of rotating around the studio space and working with really all of the artists. The idea being that our influence as artists, collaborating with the artists we represent, is sort of widespread, and they get a taste of all of us. And it really didn't matter what section was within my rotation. I would just kind of wander back to this one artist. And she was so incredibly sweet. She's unfortunately since passed. She was so gentle, and I felt like in some capacity, I could be a constant in her life and a safe spot, a safe constant. Throughout the day as dementia, took hold. There were good moments, there were bad moments, there were good days, there were bad days. But I felt like in some capacity, maybe I could be that anchor for her. And in addition, her artwork was amazing. It was. They were these massive non-objective acrylic paintings, but she would just so delicately add layer after layer after layer after layer, almost taking it like 1 square inch by 1 square inch in this larger world of this massive canvas. And she actually, so I'm now in my second home, as I talked about, very close to my mother. But one of her works is always the centerpiece of of my living room. So,
Wow.
and it's nice to have that connection to her still. It doesn't really matter, what else is around it. I still kind of zero in on that one piece.
That's a great connection.
It is, I think the arts are connectors of us
Sure.
in general, but it's even a little deeper than I think the standard connection you receive from a piece that you love and purchase and hang. It's
Right.
so.
Right.
But
We buy art for a reason. It speaks to us.
we do, yeah, definitely.
Well, this has been great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your perspective and the stories and talking about the place where I purchased some of the art for my home, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and join us next time on The Direct Line.